Thank you. So, wait. Hi, jeg hedder David, jeg kommer fra Hamburg, and jeg vil gerne have en stor øl. So, that's it. That's it. So, so I made it. Yeah. Oh, det har jeg ikke forstået. So, these are the very main and very important sentence. Maybe you know some similar sentences in German. So I grew up near the border to Denmark, so I thought it was a good idea to choose Danish instead of French in school. So I had 2 years Danish in school, and yeah, that's all I can say about this. So, okay. Yeah, let's start. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm David. I'm Web Dave, so this is me. I'm on Twitter, so if you want to follow me, then this is how I look from behind. So this works everywhere. Okay, thank you. And I have a blog, which is webdave.de. So maybe it's the chicken and the egg problem was first there. Maybe my Twitter handle or the blog, I don't know. And yeah, this is that's my avatar. This was. I want to change the job, and I want to send an application to a company, and then I put in some of these photos, you know, from these applications with the suit and this stuff. And I want to hit the send button, and I thought, wait, what the fuck? Who is this? And yeah, I was ill. I was very sick at this moment, so I had fever about 40 degrees. So, and I thought, okay, maybe it's a good idea to change my picture, and I did, and I get a job. So that's it. So I recommend be unique. Okay. Sometimes I'm also known as Wolf. So I was in the Starbucks, and then she said it was very early in the morning, and I know my pronunciation is sometimes very bad, and she asked me, "What's your name?" And I said, "Dave." So it was that early in the morning. There was no one else but me in the shop. So I was pretty sure that I am Wolf. So Dave, Wolf, whatever. Okay. Principle of my life is community rocks. So I'm also a community organizer. I'm an organizer of the Hamburg Angular meetup, or Angular Hamburg meetup, which for sure is in Hamburg. Yeah. And so if you come to Hamburg, ping me or look out for the meetup. Maybe we'll have one, and you're welcome to join. And I'm also an Angular trainer, so I do a lot of Angular. So maybe you recognize all the Angular stickers at my laptop. It's not because A-Team, it's Angular. And I'm a trainer of the platform about Angular in the German-speaking area. It's angular.js.de. It's founded way back in the 8740s, like this. No, when it was AngularJS, so that's the name. And we provide workshops, and we do a lot of mentoring and all this stuff. So I'm there, and I'm a Google Developer Expert, which means you are also one, right? Maybe you know what a Google Developer Expert is. It's a group of people which are very well connected to the core team of some Angular, some Google products. In my case, it is Angular, and developers. This means you can connect us, which means me, and get in touch with the Google team or with this product team, or ask questions, because we are sometimes better, more responsible than they. Yeah, so you can ask questions. That's it. It's just one sentence. I'm GD, so just ask questions. So okay, in February I started a challenge, or no, I was asked to start a challenge because I was looking for a conference. I don't know if you know this conference. It's the awesome NG Vikings. Yeah. And and I tweeted about this. Oh yeah, I'm looking for all the people I know and my friends. And then my friend from Berlin said, okay, what about the people you don't know? And then we came up with some discussion about this, and it ends up that I will tweet everybody's name or hashtag or selfie with his Twitter name and the hashtag MeetDave I talk to. So this challenge is keep on going. Until now, we are about 500 tweets about this. So just search for MeetDave, and maybe you find some picture with me and some beer. Because I'm German, so. Okay, let's get serious. I try to. Home life. Somewhere in the city. So we are in Aarhus, maybe, because it's Lego. You know Lego, yeah? It's near Billund, so it could be here. And these are two very famous people in this town. This is Mary. She is a CEO at Awesomesoft. And this is Peter, he's the HR manager. Keep in mind the names, yeah, it's important. Mary, Peter. And they just had an interview with the guy who wants to, they want to hire them. So his name is Paul. I'm waiting. Maybe this joke just works in Germany. Do you know Peter, Paul, and Mary? Thank you. Okay, I start laughing and you can, okay. And yeah, and Peter said, hey, this candidate, Paul, he can set up a Angular project within seconds, which is very awesome. So it's like magic. So like this. And yeah, she is thinking about money and time. Time is money. She's, oh, this is great. But what about environment? Maybe you need some, not only the project, some environment to build up this stuff. And then he said, it's included. More magic. Very magic. What is more magic? Magicst. It's magicst. So, yeah, in German we have, for everything we have something more. Magic, magia, magicst, majestic, whatever. But very important question is he asking, is he following the style guide? So we just learned style guides, design systems, which are kind of style guides. I understand there are some similarities. Okay, so just to get clear. They're very important. A style guide means you come into a project and you need maybe a few days to get into the code and not a few months. This is the benefit of style guide. Someone follows the rules. This is great. And yeah, sure. And he even writes tests. Who of you writes tests in front end? I love you all. I love you all. This is great. And this sounds great, because this makes my work very easy to sell the stuff. And I know, okay, test means I can measure the quality of the product, and I can be sure that the product is working as expected. That's definition of tests or test results. By the way, they are on the way to lunch. Yeah, this is important. And another thing I forgot to mention: these slides are done by me. So I gave the idea, nice. And this is nice. Most work is done by my sons. So I said, okay, I have this idea, and come on and build me some stuff, and they came up. So with some Easter eggs and so on. Okay, we see them. And then she asked, okay, but at the end, only file size matters. Yeah, you don't want to ship a product which is very heavy and it takes hours to load it or to start up. And he know how to AOT and tree shake. So she's very senior, she knows what AOT and tree shaking is. So okay. So, and then Paul said, okay, we should hire him, yeah, because he can teach us all this stuff. And she is, I guess she will agree. It looks like. So with all the benefits, with this magic this guy can do, she is almost, it looks like she is falling in love. I'm not sure, but it looks like. I'm not an expert in this kind of this. Yeah, but how can he manage all this is her question. Does this mean he is mastering of Google it or Bing it, or do you know Lycos? Back in the days there was a doc, you can say, okay, doc, get me some websites, and he came back and brought you websites, okay. Yeah, he used the epic tool called Angular CLI. And she, what? How? So, it's very easy. Only a few steps. It's an NPM tool, so we are web developer, so we need Node. There's no way around. Looks like this. First of all, we have to install the Angular CLI, npm install, globally, Angular/CLI. That's it. So this is how this guy is doing it. Please, this is a very special coffee machine. Yeah, he also, I guess, I'm not sure if he needs coffee still. This, maybe. Then you set up a new project. This is a command, ng-new, with the name of the project. Then there happens some magic. Your computer starts talking to you and asks question. Wait, you need a question. Need a new project. What kind of settings do you want to have? We will see this later. Yeah, this guy will do it. Take care. This is old, so I have to mention this. And then cd in this project. Yeah, we did. And serve. This means we kick off a development server. Sharkman, yeah. Sharkman also did it, and then we can serve our project which just started in the browser, and there's some magic going on between my source code and the browser. This magic called WebSockets. It's magic, yeah. And the source code is talking to the browser, and says every time when there is a new there's a file change, then the source code says to the browser, hey, reload, and I don't have to hit the F5 button. So keyword industry is down because of this. No new keyboards sold because everyone has the auto reload stuff there. Okay, let's see how it works. First of all, we have to set up a new project. So I did already npm install Angular CLI. You have to trust me, but I can show you this also. I can say ng dash, not this, here, ng -v, and then it says which version it is. Commands, or not. He says what I can do with, okay. Version. And I can see the version I running on my machine. It's the version of the CLI 7.03. So very latest version. Okay, so I did this. So then, oh wait, clear it up. Then we want to set up the project. So this can take some time. So if you have a slow machine or a busy network or a busy machine, this could take a coffee like this, okay? So this is a normal, a very approved time frame for a scaffolding project. So it's measured in coffees. So we can drink 1 or 2 or 3 coffees. So in Angular CLI, it's just 1 coffee. So we just say ng new and the name. Yeah, the name? Coffee. Oh, I love you. Coffee. and like this.
One more E.
One more E. So, and then so I cheated. I say just -d. This means show what you are doing, but don't do it. So then the CLI is asking me, okay, do you want to use routing? Routing means, do you want to navigate it in your application? So I guess almost every application needs some kind of routing, except some business card applications like this. Yeah, so enter the page and you see some, hey, my name is, I did this job, I offered this, whatever. Yeah, I want to have routing. Next one is, do you want to use some CSS pre-processing? So I'm a very big fan of SCSS, so because it's easy like CSS and powerful like Sass. Not dead Sass, so I don't need all this stuff, but it's very powerful. So just select it, and that's it. And then it creates this application. So it didn't because I hit -d, so it says, okay, I just do how. Show you what happens if you do it. Then we can hop over to our project, which is here, and say ng-serve, and the project looks like this. It's a very awesome, very beautified application with a big A for Avengers or A-Team or no, Angular, and some links. So that's the CLI. The CLI, what's the power of the CLI? The power of the CLI are things called schematics. Schematics are some recipes which says, okay, if you run this command, I do foo, whatever foo is. Foo means I generate files and put in this content and do some additional stuff. This is just a command which is very rich of commands. Since the Angular CLI, or since the version 6, the Angular CLI is also as the version 6, which means it sounds very obviously, but it wasn't there. It was until the version 6, it was the Angular CLI 1.7. So we jumped from 1.7 to 6. Reason for this, it's just that you very easy can see, okay, what kind of Angular version can I generate with the CLI version. So that's the only reason for this. Then there are very new features in the version 6 came to this. It was the update feature. You can update your Angular application to next version. So for example, we have a 6 months-ish iteration update for major versions. So it just came up the version 7 for, I guess it's again about 2 weeks ago, like this. This means just enter your application, the CLI, and say ng update, and the magic begins. It will update your resources, your dependencies, and in some cases it will update also your code, because we had breaking changes with ArcGIS. This means new operators and new kind of code styles in there, and there was a very nice command to just update your code. This sounds scary in some cases, but it works very fine. So now we are at the version 7. There are so many awesome new features in the CLI. So in the version 6, there also came up a very high, very often requested feature, which was you can generate libraries with this. So if you develop something in your application or something in one project, and then, okay, we have now a service which do some very awesome stuff. This service with all this whatever, I need this in another project. Normally it means copy-paste, which breaks these rules of single source of truth. Yeah. So if you say, okay, wait, we exclude this stuff and put it to a library, and then we use this library in all my projects, then it's very easy because you have only one source where it is. Another awesome feature of the CLI was the add feature. You can extend your CLI in your project. It means you can say, okay, wait, I have a here Angular. I'm switching the languages. I have an Angular CLI project, and I want to add some functionality, like we talked about design system. We are at the Angular meetup, so let's add Angular material. This means, okay, in this project, which is here, we want to add Angular material into this project. The command for this is ng-add. Very easy, ng-add. And then say what kind of stuff we want to add. It's just the namespace, Angular, and material. Typo? No. So that's it. Now there's something very magically happen. If we take a look at this, maybe we'll see it after this. Again, the CLI asked me, okay, wait, you want me to add the material to this. What kind of styling, what kind of theming do you want to use? So there's this indigo pink, deep purple amber, and all the fancy named colors, whatever this means. And we stick to deep purple, okay? Deep purple is okay. Deep purple. And it asks if we want to use Hammer.js. Hammer.js is just to identify gesture, so to swipe and scrolling and zooming and stuff. But I don't want to use this. And if I want to use some animations, yeah, animations can be fine. I know a lot of people, they hate them. Animations are fine. So this means, and now it updates my package.json because it adds this dependency to the package.json. Let's have a look in there. Yeah, it means here material, and it adds the CDK to this, which is the base for the Angular material. And it also puts some stuff into some other files. So now that means we have the functionality of Angular material in this. Just to clarify what Angular material is, it's just a component library, okay? Where you can add buttons and tables and all this stuff. Navigations and so stuff you can generate here. So we can see, okay, a lot of changes in there. We had changes in Angular.json, package.json, the log, index, and also stuff. When we take a look here, then we see that it sets some basically and globally styling. In the Angular.json, we see that there are some changes. There are new stylings in there, and styles. Yeah, for the projects, for testings. Styles to testing and the project. And there are some polyfills and other styles in there. So these are the fonts, okay? So let's check the site or the application. Do you see the changes? So the font style is changed, okay? So we don't use Angular material here, so at this time, but the font size, font style and size has changed because of the global styling we applied automatically. With ng-add, we don't say okay. Now it looks like similar like to npm install, yeah, right? But ng-add says, okay, we do some kind of Angular, we do an Angular npm install, and we take a look at the schematics of this library. So a library could have schematics which says, okay, well, if you add this to an Angular 6 application or Angular 7 application, you can also do several stuffs. For example, this ng-add Angular material teaches my Angular CLI more commands. Normally you can generate with the Angular CLI, you can generate components, libraries, directives, pipes, services, modules. What did I forget? Enums, if you want to name them, classes, all this stuff. Now I can generate Angular material stuff. This means I can say something like, I have to clear because it must be clear. I can say ng generate Angular material like this, and colon, and then you can say what do you want to generate from this. Yeah. So I know there is a dashboard in there. Dashboard. So machine learning doesn't work on my machine. And then you have to say, okay, what kind of name should this have? So it's the same same way you generate a component. You say okay, ng generate component name. Yeah, ng generate dashboard name. We say name should be dash. Only dash. Dash is okay. And if you say we hit enter, then it creates some stuff. It creates the component for sure, and it adds this component as we know this, and we expect it to the module somewhere here. So, but we don't use this here at the moment. So let's use it. So let's go to the app component and replace all with, I guess it's app dash because of the prefix. So check it here. That's it. So this is how my my application looks like now. So let's see if we can zoom out. So it generates some kind of dashboard, which is some kind of a structure from the Angular CLI. It's just one command. Yeah, generate dashboard. We have some cards with content. And this is very awesome because I don't write this code by my own. It was just generated. Sure, if we want to have some styling and some content here, no customer will pay for card content here. Okay. So we can then just do everything else. Another very awesome component we can generate through the Angular material is navigation bars. ng generate. Oh wait, I can tab it, right? It's just nav, and we name it nav because nav. And then it generates the same new component nav, which uses the Angular material nav syntax. Yeah, just do here. It's this. Just awesome stuff. It took a while if you write it by your own. And again, to use is just app nav. Then we have here some kind of menu, and all my styles is fucked off because of the menu. So this is styling for me. I change something when everything is fucked up. So I'm a developer, no designer. So just to clarify. So these are very awesome features. But let's have a look at the angular.json, which is the config file for Angular applications. This is this one. For sure, we have schema, which means which kind of schematic we use and all this stuff, and which is the what is the root project, and then we enter the node projects. This is very important. This is the important node. All this stuff is just noise. So projects. It means we can have several projects, which is very awesome. We can generate many projects in one project, so sub-projects. When we take a look at this, my project, I named it demo. And if you take a look at this, it says I have 2 projects with similar names. So for each project you generate, it generates the project and the end-to-end testing projects. And in there you can set some configs for this. Sure, maybe these are very well known, I hope. Where's the root, where's the source folder, and so on. Prefix, do you know the prefix? What kind of importance this is? Okay, for you, if you don't know what it is, prefix just means we have a pool of components in or tags in our web page, yeah, which means the standard tags are divs and spans and labels, and you know them, I hope. And if you write your custom elements, which means your Angular elements, you give him a tag where you can find this. I did this in my Angular. I did it when I used this here. These two. These are 2 custom tags, yeah. And the prefix is the prefix which is set in front or at the beginning of your tag, so you can scope your components you generate, because we only have one list for components. The browser only knows one list, so when he sees a tag, he's looking for this tag in his list for components and custom components. When you now say, okay, wait, I write a component which is called div, then you overwrite the div component, the div, which is not the best idea, I guess, maybe. More problem would be you have several applications, Angular applications in your website, and all these Angular applications are looking for the same tag names. So the last one who defines the component wins. So you did a lot of effort in a very nice styled navigation bar, and then there is someone and built a very shitty one, but named in the same way, then he overwrites your class definition. So that's the reason why we have a prefix. The prefix says, okay, you can name it like your project. I worked in many projects with very fancy names. I worked once in a project called Viper, and also a Cobra. It was never a car, sadly. But this is, you can scope it by name, and then you are secure, more or less, that your components are not overwritten for this. So, but let's get back to the Angular.json. In there, we have these node schematics. Remember, schematics are the recipes which says, okay, generate it this way. You can predefine some settings for example, in this case, for components. At the beginning, I decided, okay, which kind of styling do we want to use? I said SCSS. So I set a stylex settings. It means all my components are getting files which are named SCSS at the end. I can set here many predefined settings just to make it easy for me to generate when I generate it. So don't forget it to, I just want to have everything in one file if you want to use this approach, or if I want to use, for example, no tests, don't do this. Or let's check what is there. So I want to change detection, or I want to put this component in entry components, which is very important in some cases. Or I want to export all the components when at the time when I generate it. These are just settings I can define, and every time when someone is generating a component in this project, it gets these settings. So very, very often used is, for sure, change detection and the view encapsulation, I guess. These are very important. If you don't know what it is, maybe we should talk and come to my workshop. Or no, we can talk about this later. And the same here. We can also say, okay, we can insert a styling for this, for example. Everything what is in assets, it's just copied from my folder to my dist folder. Yeah? There's nothing going on with this. This one, they are processed. Everything I put in the styles or in the scripts, they are processed. When I put in their stylings, they are put together, and I just get one styling, which is put in the head of my application. And the same is with this script. So I don't need to write links or script text in my HTML. Just put it here in the angular.json, and the CLI is doing the job for you without forgetting it. This is great. Okay, let's have a look at my Oh yeah. When the CLI came out, there was a feature which was my favorite feature, because I faced very often some projects which had this problem. And it was projects which are deployed to different stages. Yeah, it means we had a stage which was dev. We can deploy it there. For all the devs in this team, you can check it. We had the stage to deploy it on the machine of the production foreman. This guy, the product owner, like this, to make his demonstration in front of the customer and stuff. And for sure, there's production, there's alpha, there's maybe testing, there's QS, all this stuff. So in one case, I had seven different stages where the application is deployed during the process. It means for every stage there was a database or a REST API. Yeah, it's never a good idea to deploy or develop against the productive API. Okay, so don't mess up the database. Just gets you into stress with your data admin. And every time on every production deployment, I get this call. Hey Dave, it don't work. I deployed it like you wrote, but it didn't work. And I said, okay, check the URL. Is the link to the API the right one? Yeah, I did. Okay, please check it twice. Yeah, I will. Never heard about this again. Every time. So the CLI saw this problem and said, okay, we can handle this. They defined environments, which is not new. You know environment variables from several production softwares. And so this is not very new to you. This means we can say, okay, we define replacements, if you want to say this like this, here. For this, it means production. And we replace this file with this file. Yeah? So in my application, I refer every time to the original environments. And the CLI, on the moment when you build it, will replace the file content and set it to the same name. So you refer only to the environment and you get the stage environment you need. And this means you can have something like very fancy, like, so now it's come to fancy stuff, which means just text color. Let's go to dashboard. So here are the environments. And we say export const color. And I say, what kind of color? Hot pink? Hot pink. It's written like this, right? So my prettier is confused by my syntax. Okay, and for sure we need this const. Yeah, you know. I know my avatar looks like my superpower is flying, but my superhero power is typos. You can wake me up middle of the night. I can make you as typos with no. Export const. Again, machine learning sucks. Color. And this time, a color, please. Lime. Lime. Oh, yeah. Like this. So, now I can refer in my application like this. I can say, we say color is gleich equals, sorry, color. Okay, and we want to take this one, yeah? Environment. And in the here we can say, I know we don't want to do this, but it's just short. Style dot color, and we set it to color. Okay, let's see if it is. I hope it was demo, right? Dashboard. Okay, let's see where is dashboard. Ah, here it is. So this is hot pink, yeah. If you want to use the other environment, we can say at the moment when you build it. So this means ng build and say which environment it is. Or we can say it when we start development, which is serve. So it's the same parameter to set it. So I show you this one. It's where is my ng serve? I guess it was this here. I'm confused by the language. Okay. ng serve. If you don't say any parameter for the environment, then it takes the standard, which is the development environment. Yeah, it takes the standard, and then we can say -c for configurations. When we take a look at this, it says configurations here, configurations, and then we have to name it like this. See production. And when we say this, now it should get Lime dashboard here. Or we get some errors. Let's see. No errors at the moment. 10%. So it's just a command and you get the right URL. This color is just a placeholder for URLs, okay? So it's very easy then to define just some variables for your environment. You also would be able to set up a white label application and say, okay, today is a yellow day, let's build it yellow or green or pink, hot pink. Let's see what it is. 15%, it's low. I guess maybe we have to look at it. Oh yeah, this is my favorite hint. So I say it should serve at production, and it says, oh, don't do this in production use, ng-serve, because ng-serve, the web server in the background is just for development. Yeah, I know. So 92%. Come on. Everyone is waiting for you, CLI. Wait until build finished. Oh, come on. So just imagine this is Lime, okay? So what's going on?
Maybe because in production there's like everything in it, minifier, uglifier, everything is right.
Yeah, but it's already, oh yeah. No, this one. And if we scroll down.
Styles work.
And now styles works. Okay. Okay, let's search for dashboard. Where is dashboard? This is strange, isn't it? It's behind the menu, I guess. Like this. Oh, come on. Yeah, somewhere out in the dark, I guess. So tuba mat. No, I don't want to. I want to.
Maybe just delete the navbar.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Wait. So hidden. So it's here. So don't use Lime and navbar. It don't work. Okay, but you see, okay? So you see, I'm a very expert in styling. No, not really. But you can see that the environments are cached by the CLI. Okay, we just check what kind of topic I want to update. Okay, this. One last hint or last topic about nothing very Angular specific. Do you know the package JSON like you should? Do you know the scripts?
Yes.
These are one of my favorite functionality in the package JSON. So this is something you can use in every Node projects or NPM projects because it has a package JSON. Every script you find in there you can call like npm space or white space and run and then the name of this script. So this means in German I normally say Hase, but it don't work here. Let's say foo. Yeah, it's because we are developer and say foo. And then we can call a bash command. Inside this, we can use every bash command you know. So I know one, it's echo. And we can say foo. So, and, oh wait, if I, was too fast. If I now run my command, npm run foo, it says magically foo. But that's not enough. So almost every script in the script node of the package JSON has two hooks. It's a pre-hook and a post-hook. Yeah. So we can now every time when I run the script, it checks if there is a pre-hook for this. So in our case, it's foo. So it checks is there a pre-foo. So it runs the pre-foo, then the foo, and then it checks is there a post-hook for this. So post-foo. That means, let's go like this. Pre and post. And we say here that we can see it. Post. Now when we say, enlarge it, it runs these three hooks. Pre-foo, foo, post-foo. This is, I know it's nothing special for the Angular CLI, but it's very awesome and something I use very often. So if you want to have a specific null point at your application when you clean up everything, or if you have to grab some translation data or files from some backends or generate some stuff, this is a task which is very likely done in the pre-hook of your start, for example. So if you write npm start, it checks if there is a pre-start, and then you can set up your translation, for example. Okay, let me just check my list if I did everything I want to show. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I'm done. Questions? I talk too much. Everyone is. I'm a nice guy. You can ask questions. You also can ask questions afterwards. Okay? Oh yeah.
You showed the ng add command that also adds functionality to the CLI.
Yeah.
Where do you usually find like the added stuff, like the material where you magically now could create material components? How do you get this information?
Okay. You should find this information about which functionality is added to the CLI in the CLI documentation, which is the wiki on the CLI repo of GitHub, or in the documentation of this tool. So I'm not sure where I found this one. Nice question, by the way. There is a blog post written by Stephen Fluin, which just recently is become a dad, 2 days ago. And he showed these, where you can add functionality. And he's also showing these commands, where you can set it nav and generate a dashboard like this, or generate a table. So if you want to create a grid, table is your start point for this. And there are four schematics you can run. Table, dashboard. I don't know the fourth one. I forgot it. But yeah, normally you find it in the documentation of these tools. So the obvious way. And you can see it says material-nav, but it works also without the material dash. Yeah, important for me because less character, less typos.